Dun, dun, dun. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome back. God, thank you for fixing that, sir. I did that backwards yet again.
Okay.
That way, right hand is on. Wait, right hand is on right side. Wait, no, I go. Wait, how do we do this? Just box Sean's ears. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? Welcome back. Thank you for your patience while I was off last week down at ICAST, which I realized after I left, I didn't take a single picture or post anything about it, which is fine because I was busy the entire time work-wise. It was good. ICAST was slower than death. It was kind of concerning being there and seeing just how quiet it was. I thought it was kind of another indicator of how the industry as a whole is doing. It may have been more the fact that ICAST itself is not drawing what it used to. It's an industry show. It's not open to the public. So like that certainly will have an impact on what the number of attendees will look like any given year. Right now, everything really is slow in the fishing industry as a whole, like every aspect of it. So that was very clearly evident just from the companies that were there. And, you know, companies that normally they bring like everything out. I just name it. I'm not going to name names. They brought like a third of the usual products that they do. And they had like a half to a third of the people they normally do. There was a lot of executive level kind of people that were not there, whereas like typically that's their jam to be at. So it was really interesting from I guess like inside the industry perspective. As an angler perspective, it was also very interesting. This may have been the year of knockoffs. I don't know. So I don't know. I tell you what, I really like fuzzy dice.
Yeah. You proved that this weekend.
It's about to be very ineffective because everybody came out with a version of a dice, something like that, little hairy, soft creature bait kind of thing. So we'll see how effective that can continue to be this year. There really wasn't anything else I came away with other than Vito's Chop House still remains one of the greatest restaurants I've ever been to.
Oh, where was that?
On International Drive, like
Oh,
really close to Universal Studios.
Nah, International Drive. I'll stay away from that.
Yeah, well, it was on the nicer part of International Drive, where it's like a little twisty, windy, and it's like a giant grass meaty in the middle with all the trees.
About.
You know,
Yep.
Not like the stretch right next to like Disney World, where it's like just 8 lanes wide of concrete and nothing else. Yeah, this is a nice area. Food is amazing. So that was ICAST in a nutshell. Now we get to talk about more fishing. Kind of everything that's been going on around here, because things have definitely turned around, which is good. Consistency has been great the last couple of trips out. We got started with a striper trip, and then we went to a place in southern New Hampshire and did really well. I would say we did southern New Hampshire, then I did like central Vermont, then we did kind of like south central New Hampshire, and 3 very, very different bodies of water. They did have all one thing in common. Nothing was on the bank. But how they were relating to what they were relating to offshore, like that is what we're going to talk about tonight in this kind of where the bass hiding topic for the evening. They are kind of everywhere, but also nowhere near the bank, what we're finding. We'll continue to expand upon that, and from there, just kind of whatever the conversation becomes, it becomes. So, Mr. Miller, you had a fun weekend this weekend.
Yes, sir.
You got yourself a beauty of a tiger muskie, but what else did you catch with it?
I caught a smallmouth bass.
A smallmouth bass?
That's it. It was one smallmouth bass. Yeah, it was. I lost a giant right off the bat. It was like I went up shallow on a big grass flat that has like thick, heavy vegetation, and there were just blowing up everywhere. I mean, I got out there early. I knew it was going to be hot, so I went out and I got out there at sunrise, and they were just blowing up everywhere. So I had the Defiant Baby Bird tied on, and I started throwing that around. And like I think it was like 3rd or 4th, 5th cast maybe. It just got slurped, and I saw this thing jump, and it was big. It was a 6 all day, and I got it close to the boat and it did its thing, and then it kind of just spit the baby bird on me. It flipped me the bird, and I was like, "This is how my day is gonna go. This is not a good start. Like 5th cast, you don't want to lose a giant like that." And I didn't even do anything wrong. I don't think. I just don't think that I had him hooked really great. But so that was kind of like for me, I was like kind of got me down and an indication of how my day was gonna go, and then I don't know, probably an hour later or something like that, I ended up hooking. They were blowing up everywhere, but they wouldn't touch top water. But I just kept throwing it because I'm like, someone's gonna do it. Switched to like some glide baits and stuff like that. There was just a lot of floating grass, so I was picking it off most of the time. And then all of a sudden, I just picked up a spinnerbait and I ended up hooking this giant muskie. And I didn't know that there was muskie on the lake, and there's muskie on the lake, and it was just really cool. And so that was dope. And then I just decided for the rest of the day that I'm just going to throw giant baits and try to go catch another muskie. Because now I know that they're out there, so they should bite. And it didn't happen. I caught a smallmouth bass.
Yeah, but you got a
like
muskie,
8
so
feet of
that's
water.
pretty sweet.
8 feet of water. Yeah. I mean, it was good, man. I can't complain. Like I literally like took a picture off of my Insta 360 camera and sent it to a buddy. And I was like, I caught a muskie. and then he's like, dude, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm just gonna keep trying to catch another muskie. So I did that. It did not work. But I had fun nonetheless because I caught a damn muskie. So it was cool.
I'm curious to see. So I don't know anything about muskie in the sense of like where would we typically looking for them? Because are they going to be like out deep, or are they going to be like up in the thickest of grass? I don't know. But where we are all collectively going on Saturday, from what Derek told me, he recalls that the whole southern end is just a sea of grass, but it's like 4 feet of water down there.
It's shallow. I don't know. It's not quite 4 feet. I looked at the map. It's not quite 4, but it's definitely less than 10. But the whole body of water is less than 25 feet. 25 feet is the max depth on the north end. So it's and it's small too. It's like it's less than 700 acres. So it's tiny. In comparison to some of the other bodies of water that we fish. So
I like that.
Dude, it looks kind of cool, man. And like I looked at the high res map of it, and like with like good contour lines and community edits and stuff on it. So like it looks pretty juicy. It looks pretty awesome. There's like a lot of I guess like points and like underwater points and like pinch points and stuff like that. So like little saddles or like little creek swings in the bottom of there. So it looks like the whole southern end is just going to be loaded. There's also what looks to be a lot of vegetation that collects on the surface. It's hard to tell with the maps, but it could be pads, it could be milfoil, it could be, dude, it looks good. I looked at it and I was like, yeah, let's go frogging.
Dude,
I got really excited for it.
Set up right now.
Yeah.
Well, I got a little bit of intel from our buddy Smallmouth Freaks. He's been there not in a few years, but has fished it pretty often. His neighbor apparently goes like multiple times a week. So I am excited for it, and I too really hope to catch a muskie. Now, given some of the intel, there's a good chance there's going to be some good rock piles and cabbage. And for the stream, which sounds like we're digressing, but not really. This all is coming full circle to the heart of the conversation, the topic for tonight. There's good rock piles out there, not a lot, but some, and then some other good like offshore vegetation. I am going to try one of my deeper crank down swim baits with the understanding that I might be enticing a muskie with it, and that is the risk I'm willing to take.
Okay.
I've got a couple of ones that, while literally all my swim baits are very near and dear to me, there are a handful that I will not be overly upset if I lose them.
I was going to say, if you lose one, I don't want to hear it.
No.
You said
I'm not going to throw any of my pats because those are insanely hard to replace. Everything else that I have, while some are moderately easy to replace and others are very easy to replace. Oh, Dave. Yeah. Okay. Throw the giant divinator. Yeah. I need to go in there for a second. No, I'll go look. I'm not going to digress that hard. I have a bunch of those. Like I got the big boys. That's where like the treble hook and the whole thing's a soft body. It's got the treble hook in the middle and the big tail spinner off the butt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sean, I don't know if you have any of those, but I'll bring them.
No, I do not. But I was just looking.
A handful.
I may throw my Piz DDT trout, which is the 11-inch trout, and I also have. Oh,
daring. You are daring.
Yeah, you're not smart for doing that.
He can't hear you
I
on
was
his
pretty
headphones.
dumb to move to Florida, but this is pretty dumb.
Hi, I'm back. So this is definitely getting some use this on Saturday.
Hang on. Let me see if I can't do it like... What? Why is it doing that? Oh, okay. Here, hang on.
I got it.
Thank you.
I got
Jesus
it.
Christ.
I got
sorry,
it.
I was in the middle of clicking drown. Jesus. Okay, there you go.
There it is. So here it is right here.
Oh, okay. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's got a goner.
So that's my 11-inch Piz trout that hopefully is going to get hit. We're going to put some hooks on this. I haven't thrown this yet. This is my
Oh, I think sweet.
Yeah, this is my
Correct.
custom small he painted from Austin Brown from Sensei Swimbaits. He painted a smallmouth pattern on the Throwback Retro, which is their 5.5 ounce 9-inch glide.
You legitimately might want to consider getting a short little stretch of some like steel leader for that for this weekend.
That's okay. I'm not throwing this. I'm not throwing this though.
Oh, the Hinkle.
Oh boy.
I will not throw this. I just got this. Just got it.
I'm
so
better
excited.
throw it eventually.
Oh yeah.
I will, just not this weekend. Andrew, I need to own it longer than a week before I lose it.
I'm not one to hang baits up on a wall, but given how long you waited for that and how special it is, that's a bait that I would hang on the wall for a year just to be like, okay, I've had this thing for a long time. I can cherish it. Now I'm going to throw it.
Nah, we're throwing it this fall. I know exactly where I'm going to throw it for the first time too.
Nice.
Pike.
Yeah. There's also tiger muskie out there where I'm going to throw it.
Oh boy.
But we're throwing it this fall. It's happening.
Worth.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
So I guess before how these fishing reports, well, we didn't do ours, but that's okay because like our fishing report basically is the topic tonight.
Yeah.
Before we get into the heart of it, for kind of like where are the bass hiding, right? Like where we've been finding them, and I really do truly think that we are like finally moving into a consistent pattern, seasonal pattern where they should be at this point. Before we do that, do me a favor, drop a like, please. I haven't asked for this in ages. I don't remember. I know the last few I didn't even talk about whatsoever. So
I'll tell you, like it. Please.
Yeah, what he said. Whether you watch on YouTube, Facebook, doesn't matter. It helps immensely. So for those that do that, please, thank you. Greatly appreciate you. So where are the bass hiding? This has been by far the worst season I've ever had. And I was thinking about this on my drive home today. I could knock it out of the park on every single trip the rest of this year, and this would still be the worst season of my life because I've been out 22 times, and now I'm up to 8 good trips in 22 trips. That's abysmal. Like by most standards, I would say that's pretty bad.
Better than none.
But this is bad. So, but that's okay because we can forget all the bad times and remember the good times that have happened recently, and hopefully even more coming. So where are the damn bass hiding? I really truly feel we're in the deep summer pattern now, finally. And the vast majority of cases, I believe that is where we're at. And the reason I can confidently say that is because not only did I have a good day, but Andrew also had a good day. We were doing relatively different things to start before we both switched over to the same thing. And in all 3 cases, water temperatures were pretty much the same. And they were 3 entirely different lakes. The first was, what do you think? 800 acres? Where we went for the offshore
weekend?
smallies?
Last weekend?
Yeah, our
Or
first trip out.
The weekend before.
Weekend before.
800? Yeah, I'd say probably around 800 acres.
Okay, 800 acres. Smallmouth, largemouth. There's pike in there. There's smelt. There's yellow perch, bluegill. Like it's got everything. But the smelt population is significant, and a lot of this place has pretty deep water. And we didn't find a single fish in really shallow. Sorry, I take that back. We found 2 fish really shallow, and it was really, really odd that we found them because literally nowhere else in the lake did we find anything shallow. All the other fish were at like 15 to 20 feet, where it gradually came down to that, but at anywhere on that 15 to 20 foot depth, it had a sharp drop into deeper water, and they were all riding that knuckle. And if they weren't there, they were out over deep water,
Literally
15 to 20
in the
feet down.
15 to 20 feet down and 60 feet of water.
Yep. And it was like trying to find a bite shallower than that was a joke. But once you found them inside that 15 to 20, you just follow that 15, like looked anywhere in the lake in that 15 to 20, and they were all out. The smelt, this is the real thing that I really feel is like we're there. The smelts were all pushed down deep. And it was funny because when we were out over the 60 feet, I set my range on my forward facing down 30 and out 100 because there were some fish that were dipping down to 30, but for the most part, they're staying 15 to 20 down. And like for a while, we're like, okay, we know they're feeding on smelt, but we haven't seen anything yet. So I finally was like, well, let me max this out to the 60 feet. And boom, the whole bottom 30 feet of the water column was smelt. And it was insane. Once we opened that up, it was like, where's all the bait?
Oh, hello.
Everywhere. It was insane. So that was the beginning part of it. And then I went and guided in Vermont on a pretty similar lake, although the max depth there is like 35-ish feet. And same deal. There wasn't anything against the shoreline that we could find. But you get out to 20 to 30 feet, stacked. This is a place that in particular has a metric ton of yellow perch. Sean, I'm positive you know where I'm talking about. It's a place that DJ used to frequent a lot.
We talked about this.
Yes. Yep. Sorry. And everything was just out following all that bait fish. Like that was the key. We talked about this many times in the past. And like, this is the time of year where it's like, okay, we're getting to that point where everything is going to be following the bait. And as long as you can find the bait, you'll find the bass. And to a T, back-to-back trips, found that. Then we went and completely changed everything up. And we went to 2 different small ponds this past Sunday. The first of which was like as clockwork gets. The max average depth there is 8 feet, maybe 10. But I'd say the most part, it's like 8-9 feet.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of various structure along the shoreline, but out in the middle, there is, I don't know, 100 different pond cabbage patches.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you just got to pick away at them.
Yeah. He was camping, and he was like, with a different friend, he was like, oh, I'll meet you out there at like 9. He calls me, I think he called me like 8. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to be out there at 9. What are you doing? I'm like, they're all offshore in the cabbage. Yep, just like clockwork every year.
Yep.
And we did that for like 4 hours and hammered them. Then the bite died and everything cooled off. Then we went to an entirely different pond, which is only a smidge deeper and even smaller. Average max depth out there is 18 feet.
I think it was somewhere around 18, 19 feet. Yeah. But no, it didn't even touch 20 feet. I don't think.
Okay.
I didn't see 20 feet, but it was probably 17, 18 feet. Yeah.
And there was only a couple fish up close to the shoreline, but where we found them, they were on the steepest drops down to like where like that 18 feet is. But like, I only think we got a couple out of some of the timber coming off the shoreline, but it was at the very, very end of the trees. So every tree we came up to, I started my jig and worked all the way from the back, the shallow end to the very front. And I didn't catch a fish till I got to the very front. They're at the deepest point. I don't know, man. They're offshore. Stream's over. Have a good night.
Straight up. We caught a couple fish on the 2 weekends ago up shallow, like he said. And we're just like, you know what? We're just go search out deep. And as soon as we get out over like 30 to 40 feet, we marked a school and then marked another school and then another school. And then we're like, all right, we got to figure this out now. So we just kind of threw minnows and I threw on a sneaky bait,
which was amazing.
I was like, you know what? This looks like a smelt. It's not a minnow, but I'm going to throw it, and just started whacking them with it. So it was fun.
Sorry, I was reading the chat. Yeah, and it's the best thing I can say when we get to this time of the year is get away from the bank as much as possible. And it's easier said than done, right? And but what I just pointed out with these 3 bodies of water is we basically fished like a Champlain or Winnipesaukee, kind of body of water where, granted, nowhere near the same size, but the variance of fish species and depth contours and bait fish out there, very identical, just on a much, much, much smaller scale. And they are all way offshore. But then we go to an 80-acre puddle that the literal deepest point in that is 1 50-foot wide hole that gets down to 16 feet. There's a couple of stretches that get down to about 12 feet. For the most part, everything else is 10 feet or less. And there's a metric ton of available structure. Rock piles, big individual boulders, downed timber, lily pad patches, the whole 9 yards. Not a single fish on any of that. They were all out in the middle in the thickest vegetation they could find, is furthest away from the shore.
Mhm.
And that's where we saw the bait fish too.
Yep.
I mean, a couple weekends ago, I was out on a very well-known New York body of water, and I went out deep and was like all around the walleye anglers and stuff like that. And I ended up throwing a minnow and catching a bunch of walleye that were chomping on bait balls, which was really fun. I was hoping that some of them were smallies, and they just weren't. Like, I was just around all of the walleye, so I just ended up having a really good day doing that. And then I went up shallow, and I will say shallow was anything less than 11 and a half, 12 feet in like patchy grass clumps. I put it that way, I guess. Patchy grass clumps. And I just threw a Texas rig and had a phenomenal day. Caught walleye in the morning, caught bass and pickerel in that stuff, towards the middle of the day and in the afternoon. And then I went to go download all the video footage, and everything was corrupted and I got nothing. But I've kind of had a little bit of the opposite, where I haven't spent a whole heck of a lot of time out deep. I've been focusing on like hard weed edges, where the weeds stop, and clumps of thick grass. Everyone that I talk to over here my way, I'm over in the Rochester, New York area, and everyone I talk to around me is in agreement that the good fish are in thick, heavy vegetation right now. And that, depending on where you are, is 16 feet and less for the most part. Sometimes a lot shallower, but yeah, I mean, I just kind of been concentrating on like just weed clumps, fishing slow. They haven't really been hitting much, many moving baits for me. Other than some like big glides that I've got a lot of fish on just over and around weeds. But grass has been the key for me, at least over here. It seems weird. I'm like in Western New York, and I've yet to have like a really killer day hammering smallies, but I'm just having fun catching largemouth right now in the grass. So I got to kick that habit.
Amazing.
It was fun. I got a lot of like glide bait, swim bait fish this year. I don't know if I told you I caught a muskie last weekend, so that was cool too. But, but like, yeah, for me, it's been, I don't know. I'm in like smallmouth heaven right now. And I'm just like having fun catching largemouth. Is what it is. Whatever.
Hey man, you gotta get what you can get.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring up that vegetation though, because we were talking about that where we were on Sunday to start the morning with Dave.
What's that?
Like, remember we were out there hammering the veggies? We're like, we should go check the rock piles. So we did. There was nothing.
No,
And
there was nothing.
That's been
I
consistent
missed
for me.
one up shallow up there, and I broke off.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
But other than that, there was nothing up shallow like that.
I mean, but then again, like this, and at least for us, and you guys are getting it like a couple days after we get it, right? But like it'll be really, really, really hot, and so normally you'll get like cool mornings, and then the sun comes up and the water warms a little bit, so you have some morning activity up shallow where they're like chasing bait up shallow and roaming around. But it's been so damn hot that I'm not seeing that, at least where I'm at. I'm not seeing them kind of like up cruising shallow flats. They're like very sedentary. And so they're sticking to that heavy cover, that shady cover, the grass that has a lot of oxygen in it, because like our water temps here, I was seeing 79 degrees this past weekend. Like that's hot for
Yeah, it's pretty warm
where I'm fishing, right? Like that's really hot.
Remember?
And I feel like it's been uncharacteristically hot out, and it's affecting us and it's affecting the fish. So the bites are definitely not as, I guess the fish are more stingy than they normally are.
Stingy.
They've been very stingy, but I agree with you. They're not that moving bait bite. Not been good. Like
no, typically, right? It warms up. Yeah.
Yeah. Earlier in the spring, like that typical, we did that with you a couple of years ago on the lake up stupid shallow, DJ and I go up there, do that same thing at the same time of the year this year. We friggin' wailed on them. Then Dave, Roy, and I go back there like 3 or 4 weeks later, and out of desperation, because I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on in Champlain, we went back there and we wailed on them up there again, shallow. But even at that point, that was slowing down. Like that trip with DJ, that was like really the only moving bait bite I've had this year, which is strange. And then I go out, again 3 or 4 weeks later, wail on him again, but it was like way slower. I was just like soaking a friggin' weightless fluke, T-rig fluke, doing nothing with it, just letting it sit. So yeah, I don't know. It's been strange in a lot of other instances where you would think that moving bait bite should be good. It is not. And I'm with you and what your buddies are saying. Like the thickest vegetation has been it, whereas typically I can do really well from ice out, really almost all year round. Both of us, we can do really well fishing hard structure, rocks, individual boulders, big rock piles. So, sand flats of scattered rocks. Like, doesn't matter. We can get that hard structure, make it work. Not this year. It has been bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. It's been and that's a big part of why I struggle, because I kept going to all these different lakes. Like, dude, this is supposed to work. This has worked without fail for the last 15 years. And if it doesn't work on this lake, it always works on that lake. And if it doesn't work on that, then I know these next 3 or 4, like one of these 10, that's going to work. Didn't work at a single one. It was strange. It was very, very strange. And then like conditions were really ideal for that moving bait bite on Sunday morning. And that didn't happen either. I was out where I was guiding that family. I thought for sure a topwater bite was going to go. I was trying that before they even got there. Nothing would come up. It's like, I can't get anything to eat anything moving with the exception of the minnow. And that bite has been insane. I know last year we tried to do it a lot, and it was like, this is dumb. I don't know what we're doing. We're doing something wrong. And then we've done it twice now. But the 2 times you and I have been out, we wailed on them. Like, I do think it helps that and I'm not going to say that. We changed up our approach from previously to what we're doing differently now. And it has helped immensely, I would say. So I don't know. I will say, where are they hiding? Like I really, all of our best days so far have been
hiding everywhere.
Everything we've known from years past and trying to go out it a completely different way. And I agree with Sean and what his buddies have said. Vegetation seems to be a much, much, much bigger player now than in years previously. Here's the thing. Actually, now I think about that, we think back to the first year we went to Champlain, we got to punch grass mats. And how much fun that was. We've been dying to do it ever since. And they just really haven't been there. Not like that since that year we went.
The grass mats haven't been there.
No. And I think like the vegetation in so many other places has been awful as well. And I don't know if this is the case, but the only thing that I can think of is we've had these really mild winters. We've had a lot of droughts, in particular, at least in our area for New Hampshire. And, you couple the fact of mild winters with almost no snow cover, so you're still getting crazy light penetration throughout the winter, and then just back to back years of a really bad drought. I think that that's impacting the water quality severely, and thus far, as such, really impacting the quality of the vegetation. We started off this year really good. We had a really good regular winter, a lot of ice, a lot of snow, no light penetration, next to nothing. I think that really helped kill off a lot of things that weren't really dying in the last 3 or 4 years. And then we got an insane influx for an extended period of time of a lot of rain this year too. So I feel like we got like a full kind of recycle and replenishment of everything that was in there in the years past, getting completely nuked out, and then kind of getting rinsed up and spit back out, and really just kind of clearing the way for new, fresher vegetation to really grow and flourish. I would say we saw that where we were yesterday, or whatever day it was, Sunday, because all those pond cabbage patches, like I that's all I kept saying the whole time. I'm like, I don't remember being that much.
Well, the fish are also have to adapt to that, and they're adapting probably faster than what we can learn in one day, or 2 days a weekend to try and figure out where the hell they're going. They're just moving around at this point. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And you just got to figure out for that day what they're doing, for that hour what they're doing.
Sean, you said the water was 79 your way.
Yeah, it was gross. And like we were seeing grass out, like in a body of water that's normally not stained, like the water was stained. There's definitely algae going on, and Iron Dog said it too, right? Like some algae blooms have been bad over here this
my
year,
God,
but like the water, I was pulling out milfoil that was like tannish brown.
Ugh.
It was weird and it was gross. It didn't look dead. It didn't feel dead. It wasn't slimy. It was just discolored. It was the strangest thing in the world. And it wasn't like it was just dirty because there was like just sediment or whatever in the water that was covering it. Like it wasn't. It was just I've never seen anything like it. And this is a body of water that they don't put chemicals into. They don't, try to spray for milfoil. Like they don't treat it, right? It's I
It's
don't
an
know.
actual naturally growing pond.
Yeah, I mean a lake, right? It's one of the Finger Lakes. But it was just
Like,
it was weird. Like it's not normally a stained body of water. It's normally very clear and like really nice. It's just I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It was yeah, it's very interesting this year. Very interesting. Everything for me has been vegetation. Not so much offshore structure. But I've spent a lot more time this year purposely targeting shallower water to figure out kind of the largemouth bite here because it can be very, very good if you know where to look. And there's a lot of guys who are out here 4 or 5 days a week, 3 days a week, dropping like insane bags in these tournaments. Like these guys fish tournaments on Cayuga and like 24 pounds doesn't even get you in the money. It's stupid. Like
that's pretty ridiculous.
It's dumb. I mean, like there's guys out here who are literally like going out and winning like a Wednesday night tournament with like 25 pounds, 26 pounds.
Yeah,
it's dumb. So,
New York
but it's there, and they're not catching them on. They're not doing it on smallies, right? Like, yes, there are some good smallies there. Maybe 1 or 2 smallies here and there if they decide to, but majority of it's coming on largemouth, which is crazy. So, I mean, they're out there. There's a guy that caught a 10 on Cayuga earlier this year in the spring. The state records out of there, the 12.35 from last year, largemouth, from some dude from Pennsylvania who was up fishing. Like they're out there, and I want one of those. Like I've caught big smallies, not as big as Sean Snover's, whatever. But I want a giant largemouth, and so like for me, that's been the most difficult thing. The smallies seem to be, I don't know, a little easier to catch around here. They're a little bit more prevalent. It's like where to kind of go look for them. For me, the trick is figuring out the largemouth bite on a daily, like on a given day. And the deep water is so vast that I don't have enough time in the water to really truly break it down on different bodies of water and locate those smallies as they're kind of cruising around. So I go to where the largemouth are and try to focus on that. So that's been kind of my thing that I'm trying to focus on this year and crack the code on. And it's hard to throw these giant glide baits and stuff like that for like really deep smallies. So yeah,
that's something
you gotta wait the hell out of them, Andrew. You know that. But like, and I don't have the patience to like let it soak or let it sink that long. For me, I've just been going out and trying to catch I really want to catch an 8-pound largemouth.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude.
Anything less than that will be unacceptable.
8-pound largemouth in the dining room every freaking day I walk in.
Oh yeah.
My nephew has his picture on the wall. Oh shit.
Yeah. That's been my quest, like anything less than 8 is considered unacceptable. You just go live in the garage and feel shame.
Tell you what, I mean, that was Andrew and I for like 2 years. So we were on the smallmouth grind for a while, and we were like we were seeing the efforts from or seeing the rewards from our efforts. And like we finally both had a couple over 5 pounds, all from like nothing from St. Lawrence, like Ontario. It was all just New Hampshire, Vermont. We're like, okay, we need to get back to largemouth. Like now we need to tank largemouth. And for like 2 or 3 years, we beat our heads against the wall, doing everything we possibly could. And we barely even cracked 6 a couple of times. Like, what do we have to do to even catch a 7 at this point? Like 8's still the goal, but come on.
Yeah, like whatever. Here's what it is. We'll get one eventually.
But this weekend's gonna be great,
dude.
I'm really jazzed for it. We're not gonna tell anyone where we're going, but it is a considerable distance from all of us.
Both of us. Yeah.
That's it.
It's gonna be a hike. I mean,
I
for
think
us,
I think I'm leaving my house at like 1:45 to get there at like
Jeez.
6:30.
yeah, he's got about an extra hour over us.
Oh, damn.
I mapped it with no traffic. With no traffic, it's 3 hours and 47 minutes. With no traffic, so I should be all right. We'll see. It's still a long drive though, 4-hour drive.
Yeah, that's a bit of a hike.
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. It'll be really, really fun. I think it's gonna be great for us. It's not too bad. It's about the same as if we were to go up to Champlain to South Hero, but no, even better. Where we like to go, Brownie Factory in Vermont.
Yeah.
It's only like an extra 20 minutes driving compared to that.
That's
But it's like
bad.
the same kind of drive.
Perfect.
Yeah, and we get to go through the very southern end of Vermont. So it's gonna be cool. That's that beautiful drive. We pass by like Wilmington Reservoir. Which is, like,
Yeah.
really cool place. It's like 100 feet deep down at the dam.
That sounds like a lot of fun, but
I know. I've heard nothing.
I heard
It's
so bad things.
Yeah.
This other
What'd you
place
say?
is probably going to be more fun.
It should
I'm
be,
really
yeah.
excited for it. Really excited.
I am too.
Yeah,
I've been
I'm super
hyping this
excited.
body of water up for a long time, and I'm just excited to go have a day. And it's shallow, so for me to fish a body of water that's like that's max depth of 25 feet. 25 feet is nothing. I mean, you step 10 feet off a shore here in the Finger Lakes, and you're in like 300 feet of water. So 25 feet and less sounds like a fantastic shallow water beatdown to me, and I can't wait for that. So, yeah.
25 shallow. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. Well, so kind of going in lines with what we were talking about as we continue to kind of like get excited for what we're doing for this weekend. I do think that we're going to find a really good bite offshore, and offshore is relative. I think that's one of the things we didn't really touch upon too much yet is like, I really think that offshore is going to be the jam in a lot of cases right now, just because of the way that they're relating to structure. Again, offshore is relative. So you yourself, Sean, were talking about earlier when we were on the phone, like Cayuga, you could be offshore by like hundreds of feet, if not maybe 1,000 feet. But you're
I
still
could be like
12 feet of water.
I could be like 800 yards, offshore, and I'm still in like 8 feet of water.
Yep. And that's what we found when we were on that small body of water. Like, I mean, and even when our first trip together, that place where we end up eventually going out in the middle over 60 feet, we were 300 feet, 300 feet away from shore when we were fishing that 15 to 20 foot deep knuckle in a couple of spots. And they were that's offshore, but that 15 to 20 feet is not that deep. That's not deep at all. And I don't know. I think that's going to continue to play. Knowing that, and more than anything, having the confidence in that, going to a new body of water, like this is my favorite thing about this trip. Not only do we get to see you again, Sean, but I just like the adventure of going somewhere new and having very little knowledge and just like wildly speculative expectations.
We usually have pretty good luck when we go to someplace new.
Yes,
usually.
We do.
There's no bad habits on a body of water.
Bingo.
Right.
That's what but it could be really good and it could be really bad, right? Like having a little bit of information is always like, I guess maybe in your favor. But you don't have any historical data to go on, so you can't form any bad habits as far as like, I got to go here. There's fish always on this spot, or I always fish this spot because of X, Y, and Z. It's kind of just going and figuring things out as they develop, as the day goes on, and forming your own opinion and patterns and stuff like that. So I'm excited.
Yeah, man. So given everything we've kind of talked about and going in open-minded, but also excited and ideally hoping to get them a very specific way, I'll start with you, Andrew.
What
are the three things you're going to start with? I know we're both in the same boat. We're going to kind of go at this however we friggin' decide to once we get there. But what are the three things you're going to tie on? The first three things you're going to pick up?
I mean, I tied on a punching rig just in case, a frog and a jig. But I'm also going to put on a minnow and maybe maybe a hair jig on the BFS.
Ooh.
That's more than 3. I'm not good at counting, but that's more
Not
than
either.
3.
That's
Andrew.
why I said 4 or 5. I don't remember how many it is.
There's smallmouth in here. There's smallmouth in here too.
Is there?
Yeah, but I heard they're
so
not big and they're kind of hard to come by. So it's one of those like cool if you catch them, but they're not really worth like putting in time to chase.
Yeah, tiger muskie, smallmouth, largemouth, black crappie, bullhead.
If we catch crappie,
rock
bring them home.
bass,
Yeah.
perch, and panfish. Yeah, it'll be fun.
So it's just a whole. It's just like a.
Yep, you can do it.
What's it called? Yep.
Yeah,
Good
one of those, Andrew.
Diverse.
It's a melting pot.
Yes, there you go. There's a pot of melted stuff in there with a bunch of fish.
Alec, good luck
I'm
trying to figure it out.
Yeah, Alec, you will never figure it out. And if you do figure it out, we'll be there no later than 6:30 a.m. on Saturday. So we'll see you there.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I don't know that I'm gonna have. No, I take that back. Okay, I'm gonna have a sniper tied on. I'm gonna have a drop shot tied on because I've been doing really well with the drop shot this year. Like that
little Magnum.
Oh, now you're talking. I mean, no, I'm not gonna have one tied on yet because you're gonna have that. So you've got the grass covered. I'll have something for more open water rocks. Like if we get up and we see it, I'll attack the outside. You can attack inside.
Yeah.
So we have that 1-2 punch. 100% throwing a drop shot because for me this has been like the year of finesse. All my best days, almost all my best days have been with a drop shot. It's or something finesse, either drop shot or pinging a minnow. And then I'm gonna have a minnow on. And as we're going down, and we're gonna try and hopefully find some of that structure that we're looking for. Again, he's all geared up to attack the structure, both like interior and very outside edge or over the top. So I'm going to pick a lot of my favorite things and focus on the outside and beyond. And one way or another, we're gonna figure it out real friggin' fast doing it that way. And then, of course, you got Mr. Miller, who I'm sure is going to have his glide tied on. And if he gets on that, then I'm 100% tying on a glide. I'm bringing all my swim bait shit, even though I'm not going to have it tied, with the exception of one. I will have a crank down on, but it's not going to be one of the top 3 that I pick up to start the day.
I'll sacrifice the depths 250.
I got one you can use. It takes on too much damn water as it is. So
No, I don't want that.
Sling it.
I'll sling it and.
For me, I'm gonna have some sort of big swim bait tied on.
But specifically, what aside from that glide you showed us earlier?
So I'm gonna expand this to 4 things. So I'm gonna have the baby bird tied on. No, I can. Yep, I'm baby bird.
Have that tied on.
I don't have it.
I'm gonna have a big glide bait tied on. That's 2. I am going to have a Beast Coast flipping delight tied on, Texas rigged. Okay. And then I am going to have a frog tied on. Because when I looked at this body of water, the entire southern end is just coated with this green stuff on top. And I don't know what it is. It could be pads. It could be milfoil. It looks really damn good. And I just really, 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 really want to beat up on them on a frog or top. I just want to beat up on them. A frog would be great. Top water would be awesome. I'd prefer a frog because I haven't had a good frog bite in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that to me, like, I'm going to start dirt shallow in the grass and see if I can't get some good frog fish.
I had a really, really, really good frog day in Florida.
That the day you also caught the gator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost that frog. But none of them would stick. And that was my last really good frog day. A lot of explosions, which was really cool, but I only caught a couple.
Want to know the last good frog day I had? We were together and we both had a good frog day and we didn't even catch that much. It's the pond in which we do not speak. That's what Kyle calls it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm just trying to think of the day.
it was in summer, and
Yes,
that
we
giant,
went way back up into that.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think we only caught between 10 and 15 total between the two of us. But that was our best frog day in a while. That's the best frog day I've had since then. I don't know what it is with being a frog. I know a big part of it now is I don't have the patience for it like I used to. I would love for a good day for it. I am hopeful for it. So
can you pull up the Google Maps of this? I mean, I have it and it zoomed in so no one would know what it is.
Don't do it. Do not underestimate people sleuthing.
Oh my goodness.
I know, but you have to pull it up and take a look at it because it looks juicy.
I will. All right, hang on. I'll do it over here really quick. But really quick, John. No chatterbait. I mean, I have a tied on. I've been throwing it, and I've been bouncing between spinnerbait and a chatterbait. But I cannot get that moving bite going, and it's killing me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's lily pads.
That's all freaking lily pads.
It looks like grass and stuff, right?
Actually, you know what? It kind of looks like really thick grass.
I think it's both.
It looks like thick. It looks like thick cabbage.
That's grass.
It looks like thick cabbage. It looks like pads on. Looks like pads on the left side. It looks like really thick cabbage on the right.
Looks like hyacinth.
Oh wait, yeah, that's. What is that? You're right. On the right side, there's shade on the edges of all that. That's standing up.
And you're looking, but you're looking at like the southern end.
Yes.
With the two little like offshoots. Yeah, dude. That looks juicy.
Gnarly.
Like, that's where I want to go. That's where I want to start today. And that's at the far side.
Chris wants to know what's your favorite frog.
Scum frog.
I get
Bronzeye 65.
Which one?
Spro Bronzeye 65 in Freak.
I think I'm throwing a Spro right now as well.
I'm with Bass and Panda. Jackal Gavacho. That's one of my favorites. It's really good because I can do a bunch of different things with it. Maybe that's part of my problem as to why I suck with a frog, because I'm trying to do too many things. I don't know. we'll figure it out one way or another.
Oh, we'll see too. Yeah. What? We'll see too this weekend how it all works out. So like I was having some issues with my live scope. Not to talk about live scope. Sorry guys. But like it was doing this whole thing. Like when I was on a flat, it was like just all of a sudden going like this. Like everyone's been complaining about it lately. So I reached out to Garmin, and Garmin sent me another transducer. So I told you I had it all I had my bow panel and everything taken apart last weekend because I was supposed to get it on Friday and it never showed up on Friday. So like I had to put it all back together and like then try to go out fishing. Well, I took it all apart again and I fixed it. So I now have a new transducer on there. So hopefully it works.
Wait for Garmin. Oh. Yeah. If
Yeah,
anybody
for live scope.
Kind of off topic, if anybody wants to buy a Active One, I got one up for sale for real cheap, and a Lowrance 3-in-1 transducer for cheap.
There you go.
So hit me up on Instagram or Messenger or whatever.
I may take that Lowrance 3-in-1.
Okay.
If anybody's guilty of doing too many things, it's Riley. Hey Dan, and
hey, thanks Dan.
There you go. You know what? I feel bad because we pinned this earlier. We didn't pin it. We favored it, and I kept forgetting to circle back to it. Jason, thank you very, very much for the donation, man. Appreciate you, bud.
Bought me a coffee.
But yes, he did. You know what? You left $1 here. Remember? Like I forget what we were doing on the stream like 3 years ago, but that $1 is still on the shelf over there somewhere.
Your arms are so long, Sean.
Oh man, it's broke as a joke right now. He needs cash.
Yeah, ain't got no job, dog.
Steve, make it happen. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm excited, but I guess to wrap up, I already said it, but I'll say it again, just to kind of keep it back on topic, what we were talking about a little bit earlier. Keep an open mind. Like I think that is 100% what has served me best in the few good days I've had out here is getting away from things that I have always relied on. Even though I've been trying to go at it entirely differently, just really having an open mind. If you have forward-facing sonar, like lean on it a little bit more this year than other years. And if you're really not seeing anything, then they are buried in something for structure. And we've seen that in a couple of different bodies of water now, where it's like, I can't find anything, but then we'll start wailing on them in that thick vegetation, or they're buried up under timber, which happened once or at least once, maybe twice now. Twice. I had a day solo back in April or May. Water's really high. It was still cold, but they were buried up on timber. It was weird. I couldn't mark a single fish anywhere. And I go, I'm like, oh, there's a tree. I just pitch my jig up in there. Wham! Oh, okay. But it's just think outside the box, and get off the damn bank. I would say that's been the best thing so far this year too, since the very beginning. Getting away from the bank. I really haven't had a good bank bite yet this year, but everything offshore, and again, offshore being relative, has been very consistently good for me. So keep an open mind. That's my parting thought on it. Anybody else?
What's the name of the lake we're going to? I'm just kidding.
You know what? You bring that up. I haven't posted it yet. I haven't actually decided if I'm going to now. Facebook sucks.
Yeah.
Specifically Facebook fishing groups. Very specifically the New Hampshire Bass Fishing Facebook page. Y'all need to learn to shut the hell up. For real. As my kid would say. It is so bad. I can speak a couple of names very specifically. I won't, but there are a few gentlemen who seemingly take pride in asking for a bunch of locations and then going out of their way to ensure that they mention said location and post as many pictures as much as possible. And I have personally witnessed the demise of a handful of phenomenal lakes in southern New Hampshire because of just a few individuals. And that problem is becoming an even greater problem lately. It seems that with the further expansion of social media, things have gotten that much worse for people unwilling to put in the effort for themselves to go find a good body of water. And when they do identify a good body of water, they can't keep their mouths shut. And they blabber about it everywhere.
Yeah,
and
if you want a good body of water to yourself, don't tell anybody about it. Go fish it yourself and have fun. And if you tell everybody about it, it's going to get overfished. The fish are going to get pressured, and this bite's going to get shut off. You're never going to catch a fish there again.
Yep.
I don't even know who you're talking about or what you're talking about, but that's just common sense.
It should be, but it's not lately, man. It's bad, and like I understand that there are other circumstances come into play where not everybody has all the time in the world to go out and fish. And you want to make sure that you have a good time when you're out there. So like, I get that, but I still really disagree with going on to a public forum and
just
asking
hit people up on Messenger or something. Don't go posting it publicly.
And you know what? I will admittedly backtrack a little bit, and I'm recognizing where I'm kind of wrong in this because I am putting the onus of blame on the person asking the question, when really the onus of blame falls to those that are answering it publicly and then really elaborating on it. Those are the people that need to keep their mouths shut. If you see, like, I feel like this should be kind of like the response. If you see a post like this, I would encourage you to respond saying, hey, if you're willing to help said person out, message them privately, and then that's the way to do it without the whole world seeing all these places. Because eventually, yeah, everybody's going to kind of figure it out anyway. So it's not like that big of a deal, but we don't need to contribute to the rapid decline of a body of water. So let's just be smart about how it is that we're sharing this information with people. And I get it that it might seem ironic and kind of ridiculous that I, with a YouTube channel, am saying such a thing, right? But we don't talk about where we go, with very rare exceptions. Like Winnipesaukee. Yeah, I post Lake Winnipesaukee when we go there. It's a 46,000 acre lake. Same with Lake Champlain, 250,000 acres. Lake Ontario, St. Lawrence River. Yeah, all right, they're massive. Candlewood, I think, is like 30-something thousand acres. Like those kinds of bodies of water, sure, I will post a name for because they are ginormous.
Yeah, everybody knows about them.
Yep, and the places that you will recognize on those bodies of water, you recognize them because they're community holes. Any other spot on there that you don't recognize, it's because it's a giant body of water, and it's going to take a long time to figure that out because that's 46,000 surface acres of land that you need to try to figure out. Never mind how many thousands of miles of shoreline that there are on there. you know. So aside from that, man, I used to like talk about the region of a state we were in. I don't even really do that anymore. Rarely do I do that. I realized that this past Sunday I said southwestern corner of New Hampshire. Actually, Sunday before that I said southern New Hampshire. For the most part, I just say what state we're in. You know, good luck figuring out where we are from there. So like I am doing my part to practice what I preach and
A little
not
different.
blowing places up.
It's a little different for you guys too, right? Because there's a lot more smaller ponds over there, where for us, there's like, dude, there's the Finger Lakes. There's Onondaga, there's Oneida, there's the Finger Lakes, there's Lake Ontario, and there's Lake Erie. Like, and then you have the St. Lawrence. But like for us, there's a lot less, like we don't have these small little kettle ponds or these small, like there's certain areas around those spots that a lot of friends have had a lot of success and a lot of luck. Um, but all the places that are like easy to get to, um, that I fish on Saturdays, right, are like it's a Finger Lake, right? Like you and hundreds of other people are all out there doing the exact same thing fishing, and they're big bodies of water. So, man, I don't feel bad about saying, like, I posted my muskie video the other day and said that I was on Canisius Lake. Like, have at it. There's a shit ton of pleasure boaters. You can get your boat rocked by a bunch of wake surfers and stuff like that, and have jet skiers go flying around you. The grass is dead. The algae sucks. The fish don't bite, but there's one tiger muskie in there. So have fun. Like, I don't care about that one. But it's a little bit different for us over here than it is for you guys, because you guys have a lot of cool little gems around you.
Truth.
Yeah, we got a million lakes around us.
Yeah.
There's, last I saw for New Hampshire Fish and Game, there's over 650 bodies of water that have a public access point to them. Just in New Hampshire. That's insane.
That's crazy. I mean, for us, it's like we have two different styles of Finger Lakes here. We have Finger Lakes that are primarily fishing Finger Lakes. We have, and there's not a lot of them, and then there's a bunch that are primarily like pleasure boat Finger Lakes, but you can find some avid fishermen on and some good fishing if you know where to look. But
yeah,
it's just different over here. But I don't blame you. You guys.
I get it. I get it from all points. I just wish people would be a little bit smarter regardless of where they are. And
I mean, if it's not you, if it's not your spot, or someone told you like, hey, you got to go over here, don't blow it up. Respect the person that gave it to you, because they're not giving the information to everyone. They obviously either trust you enough or just don't care enough to give it to you. But like, do your part and don't have diarrhea of the mouth.
Yeah, true. Oh man. Well, I tell you what, I wanted to keep this close to an hour, and I think we did pretty damn good for getting everything covered. I have no idea what the hell we're going to talk about next week, but we're back next week. As far as I know, we'll be on a regular schedule for the remainder of the year. I don't foresee anything coming up anytime soon that would inhibit a Wednesday night stream. So we are back, which is fantastic. Mr. Miller, I'm going to lean on you a little bit to get some guests back in, because I want to talk more swim bait stuff. I want to get Austin and Kyle back on. Wait, no, Kyle and
Austin.
It is Kyle
and Jose.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyle, Austin, and Jose joined us last time.
Yeah, it'd be fun to get them back on and talk like true like summer swim baiting. Because I need to learn. I know he's just always excited for it, and he's got more confidence in it, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Dude, it's so dumb how my habits have completely changed in the last year was different for me. And this year is like kind of a little bit of the same. And we've talked about it on other streams too, but for me, I'm throwing a big bait all the time, and like multiple big baits. And so like I'll literally have like, I don't know, call it 2 or 3 conventional setups on the deck at maybe at any given time, maybe none. But then I'll have like 8 swim bait setups. It's dumb, but it's kind of cool because I've had a lot of good luck, and I'm like forcing myself to learn them and to have fun. And for me, like I get one good day a week to go, and I want it to be fun. I want it to be memorable. I want to just go and learn something new, get out of the comfort zone, have fun catching fish on big baits because I've spent thousands of dollars on them.
Yeah.
And but also understanding that there's a very good probability that I'm just going to get my teeth kicked in and I'm not going to do as well as I want to do. But I'm okay with that. Is what it is.
Yeah, man.
So looking forward
Last
to
question
Saturday.
for you. What have you caught? What big swim bait have you caught the most bass on? Like style, not specific bait, style. Glide, crank down, soft body.
For me, I cannot consistently catch a fish on a crankdown. Here and there, I hate throwing crankbaits, and I think that's my problem. Is I just don't give it enough time.
Yep.
I've got a ton of glides, so for me, a shad style glide bait seems to be the ticket. Anywhere between a 6 and a 9-inch size. But I've also had a lot of fun throwing the capsize around this year, and also the Defiant 210 and 247. So I had a really, really great day earlier in the year on a 9 gizzard, a 9-inch trashy gizzard, and then a Defiant 210 fast sink in ghost perch. Was my that was it. Just kind of bumping it along the bottom and just steadily retrieving was the ticket. So this, I don't know. I'm more confident in the soft body swim baits and the glide baits than anything else. I'm trying to force myself into some of the big top water stuff, like the wakes, the crawlers, and trying the crankdowns, but it's hard for me to put down just a big glide. I mean, I've caught a lot on the Buka Gill. The Buka Gill glide this year has been really good to me. The Clutch Eco always is awesome. That's like a 6-inch, 6.25-inch bait. But I've had some success with the Cormorant. I have a Cormorant 8.5-inch and a trashy 9-inch gizzard, and those have done well for me too. So I don't know. Day by day, see what interests them. Every day it's something different. It's a different pattern. It's a different color. It's a different retrieve. It's a different area. So, yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm hopeful I get one on a swim bait. It's funny because crankdowns have been my go-to, which is funny because I hate crankbaiting, but I can stick with a crankdown. And that's probably why I've caught the majority on that, because that's what I throw the most. But
I honestly think this weekend on the outside edge of some of the cabbage and stuff that we were looking at, if it's not super thick on the outside, right? So if the cabbage stops and there's some clear water that's not choked up with submerged vegetation, even if it's submerged, as long as there's a gap at the top of the water column that you can get in there and throw a glide along the edge of this cabbage and stuff like that, I really, really, really think I'm hopeful that it's going to be a really good bite, because if they're not, you could probably get them to bite in the thick stuff, but just to kind of draw them out along that edge and have them hammer something like that would be pretty dope too. So I think we'll have to see what it's like when we get there, because none of us have been there this year, so we don't know exactly what the grass is like. We could be looking at Google Maps on a really great year and we get there and there's nothing.
Yeah.
So that's the reality. That's the reality of it. So who knows? We'll see when we get there. But if it looks like it looks to us right now, it's gonna be a fun Saturday. Yeah,
agreed. You should bring that 9-inch trick shad from Bull Shad.
Oh, I'm going.
You should just bring it all, Andrew. You should just bring it all. Don't leave it at
home. I'm not bringing my hoog.
No.
Hell no.
But you should definitely bring that trick shad, because I think back to the muskie you lost on Winnipesaukee, or Winnipesaukee, Champlain.
Yeah, on Winnipesaukee.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah,
dude, I caught my muskie on a white spinnerbait with I was telling you guys before, I can't remember, it was 15.5 or the 18.4 pound heavy cover Defiant fluorocarbon and the Defiant 33 pound braid. Not at all what I expected to land a pretty big muskie on.
I mean, I throw my
get it in the boat. So
I throw my glides with 100-pound braid and 40-pound leader, so I should be okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You know what? We were talking about like moving baits and how nothing was working. I am going to tie on a heavy swim jig. That's what I'm going to tie on. So if we do find the grass, I'm gonna try that. I had it tied on this past trip. I didn't throw it, but it was a lighter setup. I think it was a 1/4 ounce, but I'm gonna go 3/8 ounce. Like I'm gonna go with a heavy head and try and get it through all that crap. But anyway, enough of that. I'm tired. I'm
Me
ready for bed. Dude, you know what? For a parting thought, because I have not been doing editing, like any editing. And like remember, I started on YouTube in 2009. Like that's when my buddy Chris and I got started with all of this. So I've been going at this for 16 years. That's 16 years of late nights, like almost every single week, having multiple late nights to keep up with all this. And for the last couple months, I haven't been doing any video editing, and I've been sleeping like a normal human being for the first time in 16 years. Boy, oh boy, is my body loving it. So getting back onto the editing grind might be a bit of a challenge, but we'll get there. We'll see how it goes. Might have to really kind of change up how I do videos moving forward to lighten up the editing process, but
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Kidding. I'm kidding. God.
we were talking about
This is a
like
children's
that,
show, Andrew.
caffeine and stuff at work, and everybody like they give me very friendly, lighthearted shit about how much Monster I drink. And they're like, I mean, aren't you worried about what that's like doing to you? And I'm like, no.
Nah.
Like, I mean, that's kind of the secret to my how it all works anyway. It's not the caffeine that is anything for me. It's the heart palpitations.
Yeah.
And the fear that you feel if your heart's really gonna stay.
Yeah,
Is this it?
An adrenaline rush.
That's
Ooh.
what keeps you awake. I got a kick out of that in a very concerning way. All right, everybody. It's been a treat. I appreciate everybody that came out to watch tonight. It's been fun. If you didn't do so yet, before you go, please leave a like on the stream, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. Doesn't matter. It helps immensely. And I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about next week, but we will have a topic lined up, and hopefully we'll get some guests, at least for the swim bait special, lined up real soon as well. So, do either of you have a parting thought before we go?
See you next week.
See you boys Saturday.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Everybody have a great night.